All right, Junkie Nation, she's back. Vanessa Demopoulos, Little Monster, has just booked the fight. She's got Karolina Kowalkiewicz in May. What's going on, Little Monster? Good to see you again.
Hey, it's so good to see you guys. I couldn't be more excited to be back on the roster and looking forward to my fight on May 20th.
Nice. Yeah, against Karolina Kowalkiewicz, a former title challenger and a veteran of the strawweight division. So she kind of takes that next step in terms of, a recognizable name along with, like she's had a nice career as well.
Yeah, this is one of the major reasons why I'm so excited for this fight, because I really get to showcase skills against a veteran like her. So I know that I'm more than prepared for this. I've been screaming from the mountaintops, put me in, I'm ready to move up. And I'm really looking forward to a challenge from somebody who was at one point, a number 3 contender.
Yeah.
And a title challenger.
And, in that title fight, I don't know if you remember it, but I remember round 5 was really impressive for her. She was kind of getting her butt kicked a little bit against the great Joanna Jędrzejczyk, but she hung in there, showed a lot of resolve. At the time, those two didn't even get along much. Now they've actually become friends. Joanna helped revive her career, but wow, that she won't go away. You really have to be on your best for all 15 minutes, because the one thing that KK has shown is that she's tough.
Yeah, KK is very resilient. So, and that's something that is showcased throughout her career. A lot of her wins have been via decision, with the exception of Felice Herring on her retirement fight. But, so that she's a gamer, that she's coming in there. She's going to be taking charge as far as just wanting to just stay inside of the pocket and make sure that she's point fighting all the way to the decision.
So you're quietly 3-1 in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken, doing very well. You're on a 3-fight win streak, could be 4 in May on the 20th. Where do you feel like you fit in the puzzle that is strawweight?
Yeah, I'm currently undefeated in the strawweight division, and that feels so good to say, because all of that happened literally last year in 2022. Incredible year, to have 3 fights and then all 3 of them winning. It's just awesome. It's a really good feeling. I do feel that I do belong closer to the top of the division, and I get to showcase that one fight at a time.
That's right, because the Aldrich fight, your debut was at 125, and since then they've all been at strawweight.
That's right.
I don't want to just assume, but I think you're 5'1", right, or 5'2"?
I'm about 5'2", yeah.
Yeah. Was atom weight ever a play for you in your career at all? I'm just curious.
Goodness, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
I did actually at one point weigh 104, 106, but that was before I ever trained any sort of martial arts. In fact, and all throughout my high school career, I was much heavier. I used to weigh 155 throughout high school and middle school. So my weight has fluctuated, but as soon as I started training martial arts, my weight skyrocketed up to 130 from 104. I just built a lot of muscle really fast. And there's just no way I could have ever fought lower than the 115 division.
Here's why I ask, because the other day I was telling Goes and some of our colleagues, that UFC flyweight division has really grown, because at first it was strawweight and bantamweight, and then eventually they added flyweight and featherweight. Now, featherweight, I don't want to get into it. I don't even think it's a division, honestly. There's 4 gals in there. Flyweight, however, has come around. Proper champion, lots of contenders, whether it's veterans or young up-and-comers. And I'm really excited about flyweight. And I remember at first I was like, well, who's going to do flyweight? It seemed like it was strawweights that had their run or had trouble making 115. Maybe they could come in, and then same thing with bantamweights. And it looked like they were just patching it together, but they did it. However, the reason I bring it up is because atomweight is really popular at one championship, at Invicta. I think eventually the UFC should adopt 105 and maybe forget about 145. So I've started to try and maybe come up with a list of who could possibly do it. And that's why I asked you.
Oh, yeah. No. I could never even come close to making 105. I usually walk around closer to 140 personally. I wish I wasn't such a large strawweight, but yeah, I may be short in stature, but I'm a little thick, So
With like 3 C's thick? Okay, I got you. I got you. That's funny. All right, Goes, what do you have for Little Monster?
So this particular fight here is really, really good. There's no turning back here because once you get this fight, it's just going to be killer after killer after killer. A win here, I think we kind of forecasted what it could do for you. But what about like a finish? Do you feel like you could even jump more higher in the queue if Little Monster has like a devastating finish?
Oh my goodness, yes! That is what I personally am looking forward to. It's just like jumping through into the rankings, making my way. I'm so excited for this fight for so many different types of reasons. But KK, she is, like we said, a tough opponent. So as we saw, Silvana has been known for her knockout power, and she wasn't able to put KK away. And in fact, KK did end up winning that fight via decision. So, this is she's a contender, in her own right. I mean, she has been amongst the best. She's fought all of basically the top 15 almost. So I'm personally very much so looking forward to this fight and getting into the rankings myself after the victory on May 20th.
Last time we spoke, we asked you how you kind of saw that fight playing out, and the way you described it was pretty much how it played out. Have you already thought in this fight? Have you gotten to that point where you've gotten past all the game planning and now you're visualizing how this fight's going to end? Can you maybe share with us what you see this time?
I would love to, but I'm also going to tell you guys that you have to watch the fight to see how it plays out. And I mean, honestly, this fight was just really locked in, I think 2 days ago. So I've done my film study on her, but also I've already known who she was. I keep a very close eye on the strawweight division for obvious reasons. And being a fight analyst myself, it's pretty easy for me to see things, dissect people, and start game planning in my own right. But I will tell you that now I am out of Factory X here in Denver, Colorado, and it's a very heavy striking gym. I already have the grappling in the bag. There aren't many stones that I'm not turning over, so you can definitely expect a very violent and adapted Little Monster.
Now, it's been a pretty good run so far, but if you had to go back and maybe look at something that you didn't like or something that you wanted to address, is there anything that you could look back into last year and say, I kind of wish this went that way, or anything in particular?
I mean, in particular, I feel like I really did a good job at following game plan of what my coaches were requesting of me to do inside of the octagon. So I was a great listener, and I think that moving forward, I'd like to listen to my own instincts a little bit more. I went from being like a super crazy, fun, wild fighter to being a little bit more reserved, which was good and necessary and needed. And I look forward to being a little bit more of the wild little monster that I've always known and came up as.
How long have you been at Factory X, Vanessa?
It's been about a month and a half at this point, 2 months.
You used to be in Arizona, right?
At the beginning of the year.
Okay. You used to be in Arizona?
That's correct. I was at a Fight Ready in Phoenix.
Okay. And what precipitated the move? I mean, usually a fighter that's won their last 3, or I don't know, that can we ask what's going on there?
Yeah, I had the best year of my life last year, and I was super happy with the coaches. Nothing went wrong on that aspect of it. I actually had the best year of my whole life. But the owner of the gym disliked my management, and it came to a head where they made me make a decision. So it was really unfortunate, but yeah, I had to end up moving because of that. So.
Wow. Who's your manager?
Jason House with Iridium.
Okay, and the owner. Okay, yeah, and there's just it couldn't work out, huh? I mean, that kind of you're the innocent bystander here, but you're actually the most important part of the puzzle.
I wish that the outcome could have been different. I didn't want to have to uproot my whole lifestyle and all the success that we were making. But that's okay. I'm finding a lot of happiness and success here at Factory X as well. I'm really happy with the way that Mark Montoya coaches. I respect him a lot. He's an amazing coach.
Yeah.
And he's got the accolades to prove it. But yeah, I was really sad. You know, I love Santino very much. He was an amazing coach for me, and I really connected well with Santino. I was a great listener with him. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to what the horizon has to bring for us.
And I respect your loyalty too. To you stayed with your manager, and I'm sure it was a tough decision. So
yeah, it was a very tough decision, but I don't feel like you should ever give people an ultimatum. You know, like when you're an adult at a certain point, like it's kind of one of those little kid games that I just don't want to be a victim to. You know, like I don't allow other people to make my life decisions for me, unfortunately. So yeah, this is what I had to do.
What was that first day of experiencing that altitude like?
Let me tell you how real altitude training actually is. Okay, so I was not emotionally prepared for that. Even though I understood that I was coming to altitude, I'm like, it's cool. I have great cardio. Like this is not going to be a problem. It's a problem. The first week of training out here was a little torturous, to say the least. But once you get acclimated, once you get over that hump and just get in there and do it or rip the Band-Aid off, it's been a great joyride from here. And I actually went back down to sea level for a few days and got to do some training. And I was I felt like I could breathe underwater. It was fascinating what a significant difference it made. So I'm so happy about that. It was so hard and I couldn't be happier for it.
Well, there you go. Something came out of the move. And I wanted to ask you too, to piggyback Oz's question. I know that you've trained in Ohio. I know you've trained in Arizona, and now you're in Colorado. Tell me what each different setting has added to your repertoire that stands out.
Well, Ohio was absolutely that was the first gym that I ever trained out of, was Ronin Training Center, and I was there for the first 8 years of my career. So I got to become a champion jiu-jitsu artist out of there, and just really get a good solid foundation of hard work. And then I moved to California. I trained out of Black House MMA, and that was super heavy wrestling and another just grindstone of hard work, hard striking. Just constant workflow. So you're ramping everything up to 1,000% every single day. And then I moved to Phoenix, Arizona, where it was a lot smarter work, hard work, but smarter work. Very heavy wrestling, very heavy wall work. And now I get to be here in Denver, which is a lot of hard work. We're ramping up those RPMs and, a lot of heavy striking. So I'm getting to really just get the best of everything in MMA. And I couldn't feel more of a whole athlete.
All right. And then 2 out of the box questions. Why do you have 2 Instagrams? I fell for the second one, which is the backup, but then I found the real deal. But have you had problems with them? I mean, it seems like I looked and I didn't see what could be so controversial.
I believe you're referring to maybe there was a Vanessa Lil Monster IG. Is that what you're referring to? It wasn't my backup. I have one that literally says Lil Monster backup page.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, what had happened there was I was in some controversy with Dylan Dennis once upon a time. And because of that, my Instagram actually got deactivated. So I had to start another Instagram page, and it was so terrible that I made sure to just keep that page open, because I'm if anything ever happens, at least I have a backup page. Yeah.
Well, that Dylan Dennis just happens to strike everywhere, huh?
Man, he can't stay away. I think now he's finally done. Now that he backed out of his last bout, it's you can't turn around from that. Ariel Helwani was literally calling him out, saying that he wasn't going to fight. And then he backs out. So
yeah. The Dennis situation is we don't know about it. Is that something you can retouch on, or?
Sure. Yeah. So a while back, I was training out of Rabbit. A while back, I was training out of Jackrabbit boxing, and when I was at Jackrabbit, Ryan Garcia was there. And I was talking to Ryan Garcia about how he was going to fight MMA against Dylan Dennis. And I was telling Ryan, like, yeah, we'll just teach you some very, very, very basic takedown defense. And you're just basically going to knock Dylan out because he sucks at MMA and he sucks at boxing especially. So, and I said this on camera, and then Dylan Dennis started talking shit about me, saying for me to keep his name out of my mouth. And of course, I slapped back, and yeah, that's
wow,
kind of what happened. And then all of like his goons started jumping onto my page, and maybe I was a little bit more aggressive with my approach than I should have been. So they ended up getting my page deactivated.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, I've heard of a lot of Dylan Dennis controversies, but I hadn't heard that one. So like,
yeah,
I got to get back in the know. All right, the second.
This was a while ago too. This is back when I was training in California.
Did you pick up a lot from Ryan Garcia? He's a great boxer.
I'm sorry?
Did you pick up a lot from Ryan Garcia? He's a great boxer.
Oh, he just happened to come to that gym that day. He's good friends with everybody that trains there. So yeah. Okay. But I did pick up a lot from Jackrabbit Boxing while I was there.
Very cool. The last question is, that couch, where'd you get it? That looks like the most comfortable couch I've ever seen in my life.
My roommate got this couch, so yes. I'm really grateful that she has this couch. This is nice.
It really does look like you're on clouds, and being that you're 5,200 feet higher than the rest of us, I guess it would make sense.
I am on cloud 9 having this fight coming up now on May 20th against KK, so I couldn't be more excited. It's very fitting.
I know it's a fight night, but is there a location for 520?
Nothing that I know about yet.
Yeah. You want Apex or you want fans?
I want fans.
Okay, I figured,
Get me in front of the crowd.
That's kind of what I figured.
I feed off of the fans' energy, so like I need that in my life.
Yeah, and you've earned it. You put on a show. You're definitely entertaining, and we always appreciate the time here on MMA Junkie Radio. We wish you the best with the upcoming camp you have for Karolina Kowalkiewicz on May 20th. Thank you, Vanessa, as always.
Thank you guys so much. Be amazing. I love talking to you guys.
Thank you. We feelings mutual. Bye-bye.